New CBS next Monday and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Fire Country is all new CBS Friday, 9/8 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Showers developing tonight, Election Day. Well, it's looking kind of wet. We will have all the details. It's coming up.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
On Election Day for Tuesday in Marquette, looks wet. In fact, most of the area will probably have a good chance of some rain, steady at times here. Northeast wind fairly steady, and temperatures not getting out of the 40s, and that's going to be the case for most of the Upper Peninsula. Lower 50s, perhaps in the far eastern sections of the UP, with that rainfall expected through the day. So dress warmly and take an umbrella as well. Rest of the forecast later in the show. Kevin?
All right, thanks very much, Tom. Former President Donald Trump plans to spend Election Day near his Florida home. That's where we sent our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp. And Rachel, if you can hear... All right, looks like we're having some problems getting Rachel right now. Sorry about that, folks. So let's move on. We had the chance to talk with Senator Gary Peters today. He's giving his thoughts on who has been campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy had the chance to talk with him about his time on the campaign trail, his reaction to early voter turnout, and his final message to those heading to the polls for tomorrow's presidential election.
We have a chance to go out, make sure that our voice is heard. We're going to have, as always, a free and fair election. And then when the election is over, we all come together and understand that the American people and the people of Michigan have spoken, and now we have to come together to govern, to make life better for everyone. But this is a fundamental part of American democracy, and I think we should all be very excited to be able to celebrate that when we go in and cast our vote.
That full interview with Senator Peters is available on our website and mobile news app. Vice President Kamala Harris spent the day campaigning across Pennsylvania, rallying supporters and trying to mobilize voters. Harris is speaking to supporters in Philadelphia this evening to close out her presidential campaign with a star-studded concert and rally. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is there. Brendan, glad to see you. How's the energy over there?
Hey there, Kevin. Good evening. Yeah, the energy's high here. Right now, I'm currently outside where the main event is taking place. I'm on one of the streets here. And earlier, Kevin, these streets were packed. I mean, packed with thousands of people who have now moved their way inside toward the main event. You can kind of see the Philadelphia Museum of Art behind me and the stage sort of underneath. That's where Vice President Harris will be speaking momentarily. She is still en route from Pittsburgh. She has not arrived to Philadelphia yet, but she will be momentarily. And Kevin, as you said, a star-studded lineup. We're expecting Oprah Winfrey, Lady Gaga, The Roots, several other celebrities and musicians, all here in Philadelphia in battleground Pennsylvania for Vice President Kamala Harris. It's a very, very critical state. It has 19 electoral votes. That's the most of all major swing states. So it's really symbolic that Harris is wrapping up a historic campaign here in Philadelphia. She started the day in Scranton, Pennsylvania for a voter canvassing event before going to Allentown, PA, and then Pittsburgh. And now she's making her way to Philadelphia. I caught up with a couple of voters, supporters who were here. I asked them what drove them to come to this rally tonight, and also what's on the top of their mind heading into tomorrow's election. Take a listen.
I feel like this is such an important election, and I grew up in a household that always pushed the importance of voting and being involved in politics.
Specifically in Pennsylvania, since it's a swing state, it's very important to vote in the state.
I think she's a great advocate for women's rights and just you know, she speaks volumes with being kind and just being a great role model for everyone.
Yeah, Kevin, and as you just heard, I mean, reproductive rights, women's rights, really driving a lot of the supporters here to this rally in Philadelphia. But they tell me that will also be driving them, many of their friends and family members, to the polls tomorrow. Those two major issues on the minds, again, of many voters, especially women voters, in tomorrow's election. Now, former President Donald Trump was also in Pennsylvania today. He spent some time at a rally in Reading, PA, before also going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We actually had a chance to hear from the former president, myself and our other D.C. correspondent, Rachel Knapp, when we were in Lancaster, Pennsylvania yesterday. And when we were there, Trump really kind of outlined his vision for the economy and for the future. He really made the case as to why he believes he should be the next president of the United States leading this country. So again, Kevin, tomorrow it's going to be very interesting to see sort of what happens. We will be breaking it down all day. I will be in Washington, D.C., as will Vice President Kamala Harris. She'll be back at her alma mater at Howard University. So we'll have much more to come from this historic 2024 presidential election, all counting down just a few hours away until the polls open across the country. But for now, reporting live in Philadelphia for WZMQ 19 News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Kevin, back to you.
Brendan, thank you very much, as always. In this election cycle, there are deep divides between candidates, political parties, and the voting public. Our John Truitt spoke with election officials and law enforcement about how to avoid trouble at the polls.
Marquette County Undersheriff Lowell Larson says his officers have received advanced training in how to handle potential problems with voter intimidation and any other illegal activities surrounding this year's election.
We've staffed the road with more deputies for tomorrow. Hopefully they're not needed, but we'll have them in place if necessary.
Larson says the county will also activate its Emergency Operations Center.
It just hasn't been done in a long time, so this will give us a great opportunity to test our Emergency Operations Center, and hopefully it'll just simply be a test.
David Allen with the League of Women Voters explains that either party can send representatives called challengers to monitor the polls. Allen is a nonpartisan challenger and is tasked with making sure everything is above board, regardless of party affiliation.
And our role is to make sure that no bad actors show up from either party to try to challenge voters for improper reasons.
Marquette County Emergency Manager Brian Hummel feels confident his office is prepared for any unforeseen problems, but has faith in the people of the UP to abide by election laws.
We're collectively concerned about what may happen or could happen, but that's all a hypothetical. Like I said, there's been nothing articulated that's a clear threat or danger that's out there for us.
If you feel intimidated or threatened while voting, the best course of action is to not engage with anyone and tell a poll worker about it at once. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
3.1 million Michigan voters have cast their ballots early for tomorrow presidential election. County clerks have been working for months on preparations. Today, officials are still getting ready for the last round of voters and preparing to start the count. Thousands of people across the state will be working at polling locations to make sure the election is safe and secure. Marquette County's clerk says they could be working past midnight to get the public their election results.
Precinct inspectors that worked the elections, they worked hard. All your township and city clerks, they worked hard. So just make sure and thank them because they've done a phenomenal job.
To get more voter information before Election Day, you can visit michigan.gov/vote. We also have more from local clerks on our website, WZMQ19.com. Tom DeVecchio has your first warning weather forecast coming up after the break. Plus, 2 million of American children are suffering from a nonverbal learning disorder. And a new trend is showing people turning away from modern phones and heading backwards towards the flip phone style. We'll tell you more about it when we come back.
Buckles Party Store, it's where the party starts in Calumet with an awesome beer selection featuring domestic, foreign, and craft brew beer, a great selection of wine, just about any kind of liquor you want, and a great range of tobacco products. Buckles Party Store in Calumet, it's where the party starts for everyone.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget,
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policies, and their weakness invited wars. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower, and the border secure. But Kamala wants to double down on failure. Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
For 30 years, I was your weatherman. For all those years, you trusted me to work hard and tell you the truth. Now, I'm running for state representative for the same reasons. I want to help people who are struggling, reduce the cost of living, and make things just a little easier for UP families. I'm Carl Bonack, and I'm asking you to send me to Lansing to be your voice. I'll always put Peninsula over politics.
New tonight.
On this show, the vice presidential nominee, Governor Tim Walz, everybody.
Plus, John Oliver, new Colbert, tonight on CBS.
The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
As you check things out for the headlines on this election day, which actually is tomorrow, some showers will start to build up for the balance of the night. And you'll probably want to bring an umbrella or at least a raincoat as you head on toward the polls. It'll be a little chilly as well. But things look dry and cooler, pretty decent. Decent amount of sunshine for Wednesday and as we head on through Friday. Speaking of the polls, really almost all the major towns here and cities will probably be wet, including Iron Mountain, Marquette here, and Escanaba. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 40s to near 50. Chilly conditions and the rain showers around. So when you do your civic duty, make sure that you are dressed for some wet weather. Same for the kids too as they head on to school. Good chance there'll be some cloudy skies and some rain in the Marquette area when they go to school. And again, a decent chance of some showers when they go home in the afternoon. Note the temperatures, not much difference with temperatures only in the upper 40s. So the kids are going to dodge some raindrops for tomorrow. We have a tropical update. We have this tropical system that will develop into a tropical storm, but it hasn't already for the nighttime hours. Jamaica, tropical storm watches, hurricane warnings in effect for the Cayman Islands. This, by the weekend, may affect Florida like they really need it. But that's that storm we will be watching as we head on over the next several days. Rain picking up for tonight, and by tomorrow you can see good rainfall, particularly in the morning and early afternoon in Marquette and areas farther west. Farther toward the east, you may salvage lighter rain in the morning, but that rain will probably pick up as we head on through the afternoon. All moves out Tuesday night, setting up for some nice looking weather on Wednesday, but we will stay on the cool side. Rainfall amounts are pretty decent, 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch for the majority of the Upper Peninsula by the time the polls close by tomorrow evening. And for tonight, everyone dropping into the mid to upper 40s with a good chance to see those rain showers developing. We'll continue with the rain tomorrow. Notice these temperatures hardly change, holding steady, maybe lower 50s for Newberry out toward Sault Ste. Marie. Rest of the 7-day outlook, after we put up with the rainfall on Tuesday, we have some nice looking days here. A few clouds may hang around Wednesday, but we'll keep decent sunshine, particularly for Thursday into Friday. Temperatures seasonal, maybe a touch above normal. On and off for the weekend here, we'll keep it dry on Saturday with some showers coming in as we head towards Sunday.
Thanks, Tom. It's estimated more than 2 million children and adolescents in the U.S. may have nonverbal learning disorder, or NVLD. The condition affects a person's ability to problem solve, notice patterns, and learn concepts. Jared Hill has one family story.
I always known that I was different.
Ariel Miller says it was things like playing by herself and problems with organization that tipped her mom off when she was young.
I was always alone and spending time doing my schoolwork instead of interacting with people, which was really scary for me.
Now 33, she's been living and coping with nonverbal learning disorder, or NVLD. It affects nonverbal skills, especially understanding visual spatial processing.
This might be the ability to pack the back of the car well, or to follow the instructions to put together a piece of IKEA furniture. For children, when they learn to do jigsaw puzzles, or when they're using Legos and have to follow the instructions. And then in school, it becomes incredibly important when they have to interpret pictures or read graphs. And they also may have trouble with math and with motor skills.
Ariel's mom, Laura Lemley, started the NVLD project just over a decade ago, hoping to build a community for families like hers and create awareness for NVLD to officially become a disorder classified by the American Psychiatric Association.
We're really hoping to get NVLD recognized as a formal disorder in the medical community.
There are also efforts to change the name.
The first thing people think is they're mute or they don't talk. The new name proposed for NVLD is developmental visual spatial disorder. You can describe visual spatial issues like getting lost in space, not understanding what's salient, not reading nonverbal social cues.
NVLD has been gaining attention since Chris Rock revealed his diagnosis, and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz revealed his son has NVLD. Ariel says she hasn't let the disorder hold her back.
I still have NVLD. So I can't say I overcome it, I don't have it anymore, you know, but there are easy ways that you can make it easier for yourself.
And she's taking it one step at a time.
And it turns out that people are leaning away from the modern phones and turning more to the flip phone style. Take a look at how one couple is changing back time.
We've all done it.
I cannot go to bed without looking for at least 2 hours on my phone.
And I'm scrolling on Instagram unnecessarily.
Now, many are fed up. A growing number of Americans are ditching their smartphones for old school dumb phones.
Remember those epic hang-ups?
In 2021, dumb phone sales made up under 1% of the mobile phone market. In 2022, it doubled to 2%, accounting for more than 6 million Americans. Daisy Krigbon and Will Stoltz found themselves each spending around 6 hours a day on their smartphones. So 2 years ago, the couple decided to go dumb.
When was the moment that you realized, okay, I have a big problem with technology?
When it prevented me from sleeping for years on end.
For me, it's when I realized I would go to a social setting and I would want to leave the room just to be on my phone.
But finding a simpler phone was harder than they thought.
That's when we got the idea we should just create a one-stop shop.
So they converted their East Los Angeles dining room into a new business, Dumb Wireless.
I'd say the most popular right now is the Light Phone 2. It's this little e-ink phone.
That's cute.
It's just talk and text and a couple other simple tools.
Stoltz and Krigbon both admit switching to a dumb phone is hard for most customers at first. But they believe something has got to change.
Is it a radical move to switch from a smartphone to a dumb phone?
I think it's radical to hand your life over to any phone, a smartphone. I think that's pretty radical. This isn't the next step for everybody, but this is a next step, and we hope that more and more people will take it.
I'm not going back. I'm keeping my smartphone. Still to come on your 19 News at 11, Bay College is partnering with Saginaw Valley State University to help nurses achieve their bachelor's degrees. We'll have the details after this.
Did I tell you I saw Carl Bodak on the street the other day?
Whatever happened to him?
Oh, he went off the deep end in conspiracy theories.
He said vaccines were like Nazi experiments.
He pushed people to take horse dewormer.
And did you hear him attacking Ed McBroom?
Yeah, saying our elections were stolen.
He even thinks climate change is a hoax.
After the winters we've been having, such a shame. It's sad to see a nice man go bad.
For 30 years, I was your weatherman. For all those years, you trusted me to work hard and tell you the truth. Now, I'm running for state representative for the same reasons. I want to help people who are struggling, reduce the cost of living, and make things just a little easier for UP families. I'm Carl Bonak, and I'm asking you to send me to Lansing to be your voice.
I'll always put Peninsula over politics.
Next January, one of us will be president. If it's Donald Trump, he will wake up every day and stew over his enemies list. That will help no one. If I am president, I'll be focused on my to-do list for you, the American people. I'll cut costs by cracking down on corporate price gouging, make housing more affordable, lower taxes for middle-class families, and protect Social Security. I will focus on getting things done. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message. Let's get to work.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar. You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Former President Donald Trump plans to spend Election Day near his Florida home. We expect the former president to cast his ballot in West Palm Beach and then hold an election watch party at the convention center nearby. But before the big day, Trump is wrapping up a whirlwind battleground blitz at one rally on Sunday. His campaign said he was going to focus on issues related to the economy, but in his nearly hour-and-a-half speech, he focused on that for just a couple of minutes at most. A good portion of his speech, which he claims he wasn't using a teleprompter for, he already started casting some doubt about the election's integrity. Take a listen.
Do you know that paper ballots, paper is very sophisticated. It's called watermark. It's watermarked, highly sophisticated. It's more sophisticated than the machines they use, which can be hacked and things can happen. These elections have to be decided by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Tuesday night. Bunch of crooked people. These are crooked people.
Political scientists say in some states, especially if it's a close call, it might take more than just a day to verify the results. It will probably come as no surprise to you that many Americans are feeling stressed out this election season. A recent survey from the American Psychological Association shows 69% of us are feeling anxious and 77% of us are concerned about the future of our country. One counselor from Pathways Community Health in Marquette says some ways to reduce your anxiety is to limit time on social media, get a good night's sleep, and keep your diet and exercise in mind. Making face-to-face connections with people can also help.
Beings that co-regulate each other, and so just like if I'm really anxious and I bring that to you, you may become really anxious. The opposite can be the case as well, that when I'm connecting with other people and they're calm, then that can encourage me to be calm as well.
For more tips on how to manage and reduce your anxiety, head to WZMQ19.com. Today, Bay College signed a partnership with a Lower Michigan university to help nursing students pursue their education. Bay has teamed up with Saginaw Valley State University for a Bachelor of Science in Nursing pathway. After earning their associate's degree at Bay, students can transfer to Saginaw Valley to complete their bachelor's. In addition to providing a simple transfer for students, both institutions say the partnership will help fill critical roles in the healthcare workforce.
The need is great. We have people that have reached retirement age. We have people who have burned out during COVID, working ridiculous hours. Working with Bay College is the opportunity to help fill that gap. So we're excited about the commitment, and we're excited about working with Bay.
They were probably the best fit for us to be able to say, hey, students, if you're interested in moving forward, then here's the opportunity for you. And nursing is just one piece of it. So then what other partnerships can we form to make sure that we are allowing students to have a seamless transfer?
This semester marks the first group of students set to benefit from the partnership. A Delta County holiday celebration is shaping up to be bigger and better than ever. Thanks to a grant from Enbridge, the Rapid River Business Association has hosted its drive-through Lights in the Park display since the pandemic. Enbridge granted $3,500 to this year's event as part of its Fueling Futures program. Organizers say that money will go a long way toward filling Masonville Township Park with thousands of lights and Christmas spirit.
I love small town. I love small town. I grew up in a small town. I live by the small but mighty theory. I think people genuinely want to help if they know. My role in the whole thing is to let people know that we can do this cool thing if we partner up together. It's great.
Lights in the Park will take place December 7th, 14th, and 21st. Volunteers are welcome to help set up this year's display over the next few Saturdays. The Earthshot Prize, founded by Prince William, awards tens of millions of dollars to organizations with innovations protecting the environment and even reversing climate change. This year, 3 of the 15 finalists are American companies. Dina Demetrius visited one in Los Angeles to learn more.
The world's oceans all around us are acidifying. As we emit more and more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, the oceans absorb it.
Gaurav Sant leads the Institute for Carbon Management at UCLA. He created Aquatic to tackle climate change by removing acidic carbon dioxide from the ocean, 100,000 times faster than nature can do on its own.
We actually activate and expand the ocean's capacity to store carbon dioxide without inducing acidification. And that's actually really important for ocean health.
This custom-built pilot plant in the Port of Los Angeles is one of 4 Aquatic is building around the globe. Seawater is pumped in, then an electric current splits it into hydrogen, oxygen, base, and acid.
And send it off further into these white tanks that you see behind you, which is really where we end up absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into the process. It allows you to measure exactly how much hydrogen you produce. It allows you to exactly measure how much carbon dioxide you remove.
And you'll know how much water you've actually cleaned.
That's exactly right. And
while producing clean hydrogen fuel in the process. It's all earned Aquatic a shot at the $1.3 million Earthshot Prize. Aquatic's ocean carbon removal process is competing in Earthshot's Fix the Climate category, along with a company that converts heat waste to electricity. That's an innovation by Colorado-based Advanced Thermovoltaic Systems. And Earthshot finalist Natural Fiber Welding in Illinois uses plant-based materials to replace plastic in everything from cars to clothing.
We are more than a prize. We're a platform for scale and for impact.
Hannah Jones says Earthshot is a long-term partner for success.
By connecting them to investors, to philanthropists, to businesses. And then we tell stories about these heroes to spark young people's imaginations and to have them sit up and say, hang on, I don't need to choose anxiety.
Both Jones and Sant say helping the environment requires all hands on deck.
Decarbonization at a global scale is going to be one of the largest endeavors that humanity takes on.
Tom DeVecchio has your final election day forecast when we come back.
Forcing schoolgirls to change in front of men, it's not normal. But Alyssa Slotkin wrote the bill to do just that. Slotkin wanted to force schools to let men into girls' locker rooms and onto girls' sports teams. Our schools are failing, and Slotkin's pushing this.
Congresswoman Slotkin is focused on letting men into girls' sports. I'm focused on teaching kids how to read. I'm Mike Rogers, and I approve this message. I'm a dad. I'll keep fighting to fix our schools for all our kids.
Join Mike's team. Give today.
Houghton's the spot where we get all 4 seasons, the snow, the shine, everything in between. So the shoes are everything. What you have is going to help you perform better, perform longer, stay injury-free longer. Whether you're a runner, walker, or you're just looking for a shoe to get yourself through the day, we'll take an extensive approach to finding the shoe that's right for you. Whatever surface that you're going to be on, we've got you covered.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no?
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah.
And the punishment is real. Women denied care, unable to get pregnant again, traumatized, scarred for life. Young women who didn't need to die. Now 1 in 3 women live under a Trump abortion ban. And if he's elected, everyone will.
There has to be some form of punishment.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
I was having a miscarriage, and the bleeding wouldn't stop. Doctors made a split-second decision to perform an abortion. It saved my life and allowed me to have another baby. Carl Bonac wants politicians to make those decisions for women. He'd outlaw nearly all abortions. I work for Jen Hill because we need leaders who trust women and doctors. And I won't let extreme politicians like Carl Bonac leave my daughter with fewer rights than I've had.
Showers already forming in the Upper Peninsula, and they will continue to develop from east to west across the Upper Peninsula for the balance of tonight. Temperatures will be dropping mid to upper 40s. Some of you may drop to near 50 degrees. Tomorrow, big day, of course, Election Day, and Mother Nature giving us some rainfall and a fairly decent chance here. Could be some steady rain and at least a ½ inch. Maybe a little bit more. Some of you may get up to 1 inch of rain for the day. And notice these temperatures not changing on that chilly northerly wind. Temperatures will be holding in the upper 40s to around 50 again for Tuesday. After that, though, it does look better. They're staying cool for the UP, keeping it partly sunny for Wednesday. Good chance of sunshine, though. Nice stretch here Thursday, Friday into Saturday. Temperatures slowly moderating here before we get some rain and cooler conditions as we head towards Sunday. Kevin?
Thanks, Tom. And be sure to tune in to WZMQ tomorrow for all of your election coverage. The wonderful Sarah Blakely will be joining me at the desk and providing updates throughout the night. We will also be posted up at the election night headquarters for the candidates for the 109th State House District, Jen Hill and Carl Bonac. We'll have live coverage of what's happening there as the votes are counted. Our Washington, D.C. crew will also be providing live reports from around the country. Be sure to follow along online at WZMQ19.com as we update the latest numbers as they come in. And that's all for now, but we'll see you tomorrow for Election Night 2024.
"19 News" is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She supported his disastrous economic agenda, higher taxes on the middle class. Kamala backed his open border policy.